today we talk about biology bioengineering in Germany. Here are dear guests on screen, on slide, and then you will have opportunity to listen to them individually. And of course, I will be also introducing them in a second. But before that, well, who is organizing the session and yeah, what are we doing? This is My German University, a database where you can find English taught study programs, and this means that if you want to study in Germany partially or fully in English, you can use this study finder. The study finder is user-friendly. You have lots of filters that could be combined, for example, about the language requirements, about your in case you already have IELTS, TOEFL tests, and then maybe program features, for example, work experience needed or not, admission restriction or not, and so on and so forth. And then we have added another thing to organize or list programs according to filter. For example, you have selected multiple filters on one side, like tuition, I don't know, city, etc., etc., and the results you want to rank according to application deadline. So this is also possible, and you can do so. In case you have questions about the study finder, then feel free to ask them in Q&A. When you have general topics or general questions about scholarships, visa, Studienkolleg, you want to have a motivation letter, sample, etc., etc., you can check out our articles. One novelty is that we have for scholarships and for visa country-specific articles. For example, if you are coming from Bangladesh and you want to know the visa waiting times and how to proceed, what are the regulations by the embassy, you can have a look at the article. And those articles are free of charge, written by internationals, so this means that it's not just a summary of the information on the internet, but also the personal experience that that we want to share with you. To stay connected and also answering your questions in a live mode, so to say, we have two groups of webinars. Those are general and subject-related webinars. Of course, you know that you are attending right now a subject webinar, but we also have general webinars when we talk about visa, uni assist, scholarship, studying in Germany in general, etc., etc. You can see all the scheduled webinars actually until next year, May, already on our page. And in case your preferred program is being presented there, well, you are welcome to then register and join us later. And of course, these wonderful people who make possible everything that's going on at My German University. This is a team from different countries, but everybody has the experience of studying and living in Germany. That's why we are here and then sharing this with you as well. And these flags mean not only the countries from where we are coming from, but also the languages that we speak, which means that the articles are also translated. And in case you want to read something in Georgian, which I doubt don't want to, but in case, who knows that you could also find the articles in Georgian as well. All right, now going back to the topic. So study biology, bioengineering in Germany, and I hope you have already used the study finder. That's how you know one of those programs. And here is another screenshot of the of the study finder where it says selected subjects to, and then you have all these additional filters that you could apply. But according to this too rough filtering, you have 318-degree programs. The breakdown into bachelor and master is visible here, and then you can even select and go for English only option. But I'm sure all the guests always recommend improving or starting German courses because it will help with your further journey in Germany. In case you are very new and don't know how it feels studying these subjects in Germany, then you could also visit and check the subject pages that provide an overview of how it feels studying this, what are the career perspectives, rough application admission requirements, etc., etc. I could also share the links in chat. One tip is to not to be guided by just city names or rankings or I don't know some program names only, but you could. We believe that it's better when you correctly select a program according to what you expect from a program and what you can also bring to the program. So it's very important to have this um, mutual understanding between you and the program so that you are correctly selecting a study program where you'll be spending at least 2 years. Briefly about the university landscape. So in Germany, there are universities and universities of applied science. The difference, historic difference, etc., can be read in the article, but what I want you to know for today is that universities or programs that are offered by a university are more research and theory oriented. Programs that are offered by University of Applied Science usually are more application and practice oriented. Of course, there could be exceptions on both sides, and if this is the case today as well, then program representatives will mention that. Another advice is to search programs by subject, not by program name, because so not all programs are called study bioengineering or like master in bioengineering or bachelor in bioengineering, etc. So it's the subject, so it's better to filter by a subject and then narrow down to a program name later. All right, now my boring part is over, and this brings me to our first guest, 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘵, who will be talking about Master in Science Biofabrication. The university landscape location is on the map, but more details about the program will be shared in a bit.
Okay, thank you for the introduction. And it was not boring at all for me. So I may just share my desktop, which should be okay right now. And right now you see my full screen of my presentation, which is on our international master study program called Biofabrication at the University of Bayreuth in Germany. My name is 𝘱𝘱𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘕. I'm the deputy of Thomas Scheibel. Professor Thomas Scheibel is the head of the study program, and I have been involved in this program, setting it up and also taking care of our international students since the very beginning in 2017. I would like to start with a short profile of the University of Bayreuth. It is a medium-sized university right now. It has been founded in 1975. And we have right now 7 faculties. The study program, Master Biofabrication, is an engineering program and curriculum. We have roughly 13,000 students and 270 professors, which are located at 2 campuses. One is the one that you see. It is located close to the center of the Bayreuth city, and a so-called satellite campus in Kulmbach, a city known for brewing beer, roughly 30 kilometers away from Bayreuth. The interdisciplinarity is one of the university's strengths since its beginning, and we have strong inter-faculty research centers and also cross-disciplinary focus areas, which have been set or are set right now in an evaluation scheme. And we have inter-faculty teaching programs, for example, in economics and also in engineering, which is interesting and relevant for the master program Biofabrication. Maybe a bit of ranking statistics. So the university is one of the most successful young universities in Germany. It ranked 59th out of the world's top 790 universities younger than 50 in the 𝘱e 2023 ranking. It has a very high international reputation on its research strength. It has been ranked 19th worldwide in the Nature Index Young Universities 2021. And it has outstanding ratings for several Bayreuth's degree programs. For example, one of the top universities in Germany in the field of engineering in the 𝘱e ranking of 2022, which gives you kind of a perspective that the University of Bayreuth is a very good and well-established university. And maybe just one more thing to add. Diversity is a strong feature that the University of Bayreuth stands for. And precisely, we focus on the appreciation and promotion of the diversity, for example, for our international students, the equitable opportunities for studying and participation for everyone. That means, for example, gender issues and elimination and prevention of disadvantages and discriminations, which could be, for example, the background, racism, gender, sexual identity, whatever. This is a strong commitment of the University of Bayreuth, and we have several persons and offices which are responsible for that. One of these responsible parts of the university is the International Office, which has been launched some years ago, and it is part of the internationalization strategy of the UBT and provides information and help for incoming and outgoing students. So that means you have directly partners and people to whom you can talk to. They may help you, for example, in order to get a flat or in order to organize things concerning visa, etc. So much for the university. And right now I would talk a bit about our master program. As said, it's an international master study program. That means it is English taught. The language is completely English in every lesson. And biofabrication connects disciplines of the engineering science and life sciences and material science to generate materials and constructs that may be used, for example, in a medical or biomedical application purpose. So, for example, in the field of tissue engineering. And for this, you need both. You need knowledge on engineering science, and you need knowledge on biology, also on biotechnology. We would call that life sciences and material science. I am working at the chair of biomaterials, so our focus is on biomaterials and explicitly on protein-derived materials, and that was the idea to bring that into life in this master study program. The engineering science part has a focus on bioengineering, on biofabrication, biomaterials, surface technologies, and also polymers and polymer processing that may be used then as materials for biofabrication methods. And life sciences and material sciences connect parts, for example, like tissue engineering, polymer materials, supramolecular chemistry of materials, cell culture, and everything that is devoted to cell culture, and, for example, drug depots and delivery. To give you a short overview of our modules, we would have in the study program 4 semesters, which gives you the schedule. And these 4 semesters are divided into larger blocks. For example, in the block biofabrication and biomaterials, which are mandatory, and they introduce into the most basic aspects that would be a module on biofabrication, a module on cell biology, and 3 core elective modules that are not shown on this slide, but in one of the next slides. And the second topic would be biomaterials, where we have a module on biomaterials, medical implant engineering, and again, 3 core elective modules where you can choose modules out of 2 routes. I will explain that in about a second. How does it look like in detail? You would start, for example, in the winter term and would choose the topic biofabrication. And then, so this would be this first topic. And then you may choose 3 out of 5 core elective modules, which are given here. For example, characterization of soft biointerfaces, biotechnology, self-assembling biopolymers, bio-inspired surfaces, and polymer materials. We call this the blue route for the winter term. In the summer term, you would choose the topic biomaterials, and the core elective modules would be choosing first one route. This is here the route 1, which is called process engineering. And in this route, process engineering, you would choose 2 out of 5 modules. And then on the next slide, there's a second route, which would be called the green route. And then you can also choose 1 module out of that. So for this route 1, you have the choice out of the modules called polymer testing and modeling, chemistry and polymer chemistry, polymers and polymer processing, lab course, automation, and computer-aided engineering as strong engineering-based disciplines or modules. And when I would go to the route 2, which is called tissue engineering, as I said, you may choose one of these 2 routes, and either you would take in this route 2, tissue engineering, 2 of these green modules plus 1 of the previously shown blue models, or vice versa for this route 1. This is the process engineering, the blue route. You would choose 2 out of 5 plus 1 of these green modules. So in this route 2 green modules that are devoted to tissue engineering topics, you have the modules bioengineering for tissue regeneration, bioprocess engineering, foundations of tissue engineering, simulation of materials, and e-processing technologies. If you are bothered because of the abbreviations, I am very sorry for that, but you see that we have a rather restricted size of these blocks, and so that's why the module names are longer than to fit into these blocks. That's why we abbreviated just to give you an overview. Okay, after these 2 basic parts, you have the choice to do advanced modules with a sum of 29 ECTS. And part of this advanced modules is a summer academy, which is held every summer with Bayreuth people and also international renowned people, for example, from Australia. And you will have a 2 weeks program where you can, or where you have a deeper theoretical and practical view on topics that are bio-related and also biofabrication related. Plus, to the Summer Academy, you have 3 advanced modules that can be done at the campus of the University of Bayreuth, or you choose 1 international advanced module that has then the time length of 3 advanced modules in one international module. And you can choose international partners. I will show you an overview slide of that in about a second. The last aspect, the last 2 aspects are transferable skills and the master's thesis to finish up your master program. The transferable skills, they include the parts scientific working and management training and entrepreneurship informations and courses. And then finally, the master's thesis, which ends up your master study program of biofabrication. And in total, you will have 120 credit points, which is standard for a master program at the University of Bayreuth and also in Germany. This is a bit fast overview of our program, just to see what you can expect and what it is included. And also it may be interesting for you to see what kind of departments and people are connected to our study program. So from the Faculty of Engineering Science, where the study program is located, we have from the materials science part, for example, Professor Jonov for biofabrication. Then we have biofunctional materials, biomaterials, Professor Scheibel as the responsible person for the study program. Then biomechanics, bioprocess engineering, cellular biomechanics, functional materials, additive manufacturing processes for tissue regeneration, sorry, this is in German, and polymer materials. Plus, we have the engineering science part, for example, automation engineering, biomechanics, construction, and CAD, just to give you a short overview. Plus, we have additional departments from the other faculties, for example, from the Faculty of Biochemistry and Biology, where we have several people from these groups, for example, biochemistry 2 and 3. Then we have digital health, experimental physics, macromolecular chemistry, physical chemistry, or theoretical physics that are all part of this study program, and where you can also go to and choose an advanced module of the advanced studies. I already mentioned that we have international partners, and this slide only gives you a very quick grasp of what we can offer in Europe, where we have contacts in Netherlands, Spain, and France. Then in Asia, where we have contacts in Thailand, Australia, where we have a strong network, for example, at the University of Melbourne, at the University of Wollongong and the Deakin University, plus in USA at the Tufts University. There are more than this, otherwise the slide would just flow over for information, and we can negotiate as long as a group internationally is renowned in the field of biofabrication, that you may choose an international advanced module to go there. How to join our study program? We have an admission process that is run twice a year. So that means for the summer term start and for the winter term start. It would be for the winter term start at the 15th of June, and for the summer term, it would be the 13th of November, which is two-stage process of the admission. In the first stage, you supply your written application, including all documents, for example, the transcript of records, a motivation letter, degree certificates, etc., from your first, usually a bachelor study program. And in the second stage, you will get then into an aptitude assessment process where you will have a 20 minutes interview on aspects that are related to biofabrication. For details of this admission process, you can see our homepage, biofabrication.uni-bayreuth.de, and there a full description of what and where to supply and hand in is given. So in the admission stage 1, your background as a bachelor degree should be in the field of material science or engineering science or in functional materials or any equivalent study program, usually an engineering-based study program. Plus, you need an UniCert level B2 in English, and UniCert level A1 in German to get by at least with the basic German language, and an internship in industry that accounts for minimum 13 weeks. In the admission stage 2, you either will get into if you have or if you are amongst the top 10 of your recent or finished study program, or if you have taken the certificate of the massive open online course Biomaterials and Biofabrication, Design, Engineering, Innovation on the edX platform, where you can study by yourself with the help of videos and information. And if you choose the certificate version of this course, you are eligible to directly go into this admission stage 2, or just because of your grades, you will get then into this stage 2. And I already mentioned that would be then an aptitude assessment, 20-minute oral exam on engineering and mechanics, organic chemistry topics, physical chemistry and biochemistry topics, biology for engineers, and also polymers. And the final decision would be fail or pass to be part of the study program or not. So much for the study program overview and for the admission process. Maybe it's also relevant and important for a student to know that the student life in Bayreuth is very vivid. You have a lot of capabilities and opportunities, even though Bayreuth is not a big city compared, for example, to Berlin, Hamburg, or Munich. It's a medium-sized, some people say small village. It's a very beautiful village, and it offers a lot of activities. And they either would be on the campus or in the city center, where, for example, you have an active cultural scene. The two images, the left one is the famous Festspielhaus, where you can hear and visit the operas of Richard Wagner. And the right image shows you the UNESCO World Heritage of our opera house. And the right shows you a student-run or student-based cultural house, which is called Glass House, where a lot of concerts, a lot of literature and science slam activities are given. With this, I would like to thank you for your interest and for your time you invested to listen to me. And if you have further questions, I would like to redirect you first to our websites. As already mentioned, this www.biofabrication.uni-bayreuth.de. It is also in English, so you can choose the German or the English version. And there's a general web page of the University of Bayreuth, which is also written in English. And there you, for example, find information on the international office. You can also write me an email or write us an email. There is a team, for example, of a secretary. The email address is called biofabrication@uni-bayreuth.de. And with these words, we would be happy to welcome you in Bayreuth and thank you for your interest.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bargel, for the presentation. Dear attendees, the links, also email, and some additional information is in chat. The Dr. Bargel mentioned that the module overview is a small one, so I linked the whole page. In case you want to check it right now, feel free to do so. And one important note, which if you are international applying, I think you should take into account from right now, is that the program needs VPD from UniAssist.
Yes.
And I already mentioned it in chat, but in case you don't know what it is, please let me know in Q&A. I will also share an article about it. And the application documents like CV, motivation letter are also listed in chat. So based on the questions, I believe some people already prepared those documents, but yeah, I tried to be helpful in chat as well to assist Dr. Bargel. Thank you
Okay,
very
thank
much
you very
once
much.
again, and then we continue discussing the program in Q&A. But before that, I would kindly ask you to stop the screen. Yeah, thank you very much. And now I will do so to introduce our second guest, Professor Dr. 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘵, who will be talking about bachelor's degree program. I already saw some attendees that were asking when the bachelor's is starting, and I already shared the Studienkolleg article. So here's the presentation for you then. And Professor, thank you very much for being here. And then the virtual floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much for this nice presentation. And it's nice to be here. And it's especially nice that Dr. Bargel and myself are not competing for students, because one is a master's and the other is a bachelor course. So we're all friends here, and this makes me very happy. So then I'm just starting to share my screen. Oops, here we go. And I hope that works, and if it works, everything is fine. So you should be able to see my screen now, and I will present what we say about bioengineering, Bachelor of Science, which is all in English, and I'll give you some introduction in the study course. And you will see I give less precise details how to apply and so on, because that's all on the website. You just can go to the website and read that. So I just want to present you more what are the special features about this study course. Okay, so my name is Joe Fensler. I'm the head of the study course of bioengineering, and I'm professor of biotechnology and bioengineering. And I think a very important thing is what we already heard is one thing are the names, and the other things are the contents. So you will see that I will rather term it bioengineering/biotechnology, because bioengineering can also be read from a different angle, and then it's more technical. I would rather term that at biotechnology, bioengineering. That's very important in order that you know what you do read, not just for our study course. Read the module descriptions. Okay, now if I'm starting, I also first want to start to give some slides on our university. So we talk about the Rhein-Waal University of Applied Science. You have had already an introduction comparing full universities and universities of applied science. University of Applied Science, the professors, for example, have a different background. I have worked for years in Max Planck institutes in foreign countries. I've been 3 years in France and so on. I have all the material for habilitation, but then I went to industry and I worked as a head of vaccine development for 5 years in a vaccine industry, in the pharmaceutical industry, and I also spin off companies. So therefore, there is also experience from that side. But I worked, of course, for years in science, and this is how professors at universities of applied science in general look like, that they also have this industry experience. And now let's have a look on our university. So we are also a very young university. We have been established in 2009, and we have 2 campuses. One is in 𝘗𝘓 and the other is in 𝘗𝘓𝘪𝘓. And you see our specialty, and we will come back to that, is we're the most international university, by far the most international university in Germany. So we have 47% international students, around about 7,000 students, and we have 4 faculties. And you see that our study course we're talking actually is located at the Faculty of Life Science. And you see that our specialty is also what differs to most other universities, that more than 70% of all our degree programs are already taught in English. Of course, bioengineering, what we are talking about now, is also in English, and we will come to that in a second. So this is our campus in 𝘗𝘓. This is the rankings are always, I know that especially international students ranking are important. So we have been voted the 4th most beautiful campus in Germany by our students. So this is the ranking I can offer you here, and it's really nice. So we the students are there, it's integrated in the city. And I have to say, Dr. Bargel said Bayreuth, some term it as a small city. I have to say 𝘗𝘓 is a small city. 𝘗𝘓 has 40 to 50,000 inhabitants, but the 7,000 students are really making a difference there. Okay, so that the other campus is in 𝘗𝘓𝘪𝘓. However, bioengineering is located in 𝘗𝘓, which is right to the Dutch border, by the way. This is just next to Nijmegen and Arnhem. We have, this is already outdated. This is 2018. Always, if I see that slide, I say I have to update it. We have 80, for sure now 100 partner universities in 36 countries all over the world. So you see that here we have our partner universities, and we have regularly, especially in bioengineering, we have regularly at least 10 students who are coming from as Erasmus students and so on from abroad. We have students from Korea, Brazil, actually, of course, European countries who are also then going there for their semester abroad. And this is for us very normal. So this is kind of how our bachelor programs are in general structured. This is true for all programs. Of course, I will go into more detail in bioengineering, but this is just the overall scheme, how it looks like if you go for a bachelor degree at the Rhein-Waal University. The first 3 semesters kind of we say these are the foundation modules. So you get your the background, and in semester 4, 5, the modules are more advanced and they are electives. And again, we will come to the detail how that looks like in bioengineering in a second. In the 6th semester, there is a mandatory internship or exchange semester. So all of our students go to a semester abroad, either to university, for example, at a partner university, wherever in the world, or they do an internship in a company or at another university or at a Max Planck or whatsoever, or in a pharmaceutical company. So this is what all will do in the 6th semester. And then this is followed by the thesis in the 7th semester. So this is very, very practical orientated. And you see that we have decided to have this mandatory mobility 6th semester, that you really already during your bachelor see more than just one university. Okay, now let's come to bioengineering. So that's the overall structure is of course the same. So it's also 7th semester and it's fully taught in English. Restricted admission, no, this is no more true. Actually the admission is restricted. So this has changed. The reason why it is restricted, we have a lot of, you will see in a second, we have a lot of students, international students, who want to come to us, which is very nice, and I again invite that. However, we had then more than 100 students in our in the first semesters, which is for an applied science study course with a lot of lab courses too much. So therefore, we had to restrict it in a way that we are no more than 60 students in the first semester. Now this is kind of the basics, what you can expect in bioengineering as topics. Of course, this is also on the website, so therefore I don't want to go word by word through it. But you see that is cell biology, math, of course, what you expect in the first semesters, microbiology, chemistry. So all these engineering basics and MINT basics you would expect in such a study course. And then you come to biochemistry, applied microbiology, and so on. So this is the second semester, the foundations. And you see in the third and fourth and fifth semester, these elective modules start to get in. So you see that you can specialize in certain topics. And again, these are the topics you can expect. And you see already from that, so I don't read that, all of that. So if you have specific questions, of course, you can ask. But you see that most of the topics are more biotechnology. But of course, there is also bioengineering in the more traditional, by the more traditional definition. Okay, so this is kind of the basics. And in the sixth semester, again, you have this internship or study abroad. And in the seventh semester, you have your colloquium and your thesis. Usually all these modules, which are also there, students move that earlier. So usually students are no more on site after they start their internship because they try to get that already earlier. So this doesn't mean, because sometimes you say, oh, I'm doing my semester abroad, doing my also many students do their bachelor thesis somewhere else, and many of them do that, for example, at the company they actually did their internship. And of course, if they then would have to come to follow one module, this makes not too much sense. And this is, of course, clear to us. Therefore, this can be organized in a different way. So, and now this is kind of the structure. And now why 𝘗𝘓𝘂? So I said this, 𝘗𝘓 is not Munich. 𝘗𝘓 is not, I heard that already before from Dr. Bargel, but of course it's the same is true for 𝘗𝘓. 𝘗𝘓 is not Berlin, 𝘗𝘓 is not Hamburg. But what is the huge difference is, this is the difference. This is a photo that was so nice. They accepted that I take a photo, because in the Senate, I'm also a member of the Senate. And for me, this international atmosphere is something which is very important, a very important asset. And I wanted to demonstrate that members of the Senate, how it really looks like. And you see, if you look in this diversity, it's so cool. And these are just the students coming from a non-European country. And you see that all are there, all are distributed, all are mixed. We have students from really everywhere, and this is kind of the distribution of the students. This is a German slide, but these are internal slides. You see in bioengineering, we have, this is bioengineering. We have students, 1/3 are from Germany, 1/3 are from non-EU, and 1/3 are EU. And we have kind of almost exactly 50-50 female male students. By the way, the tendency is more females. So if you look from how many countries they're coming, we have students from 70 nations in bioengineering. So we have 450 students from 70 nations. It is highly likely that students from your nation are already studying, not just at our university, but also studying bioengineering. So this is something which you will not find somewhere else. So you will be integrated right away in this community and this atmosphere, this international atmosphere. Of course, this is one thing what is really special for our university, and we're very proud of that. And it's not always easy. There are, of course, also with this huge diversity, there are some efforts, but we have learned to cope with that. We have also from the side of the professors become specialists, as we have all these students, and it's really a nice thing. So this is the campus I have already presented to you. So this is the winter look of the campus. Of course, actually it's summer. It looks a bit warmer. But how do lab courses look like? So this is a lab course in, I'm just showing you lab courses from my labs. This is a bioprocess engineering lab course where we do fermentation, parallel fermentation, anaerobic fermentation assays. And you see that these are sensors measuring then in real time carbon dioxide and ethanol production. And this is an example of what we do. This is another fermentation approach where we do a paralleled aerated fermentation. Yeah, and you see this is a continuous fermentation here. But the internship semester abroad, this is also very nice. This is one picture I got from an internship. This was a student, maybe one remark. So you're free to do your internship wherever you want, or semester abroad wherever you want. And this student came to me and she said she has problems identifying a place. And then I said, well, what do you want to do? Don't first look for the place. First look for what are your interests. And as a joke, she said she loves surfing. And then I said, well, why don't you go to Hawaii? And that's what she did. She went to the University of Honolulu doing her internship there. The guy there called me and said this is what was the best intern he ever had. I should send him more people like this. And of course, the only error I made, I asked her to send me pictures, and I got then in the 𝘗𝘓𝘳𝘳𝘳𝘳 winter these pictures. That was hard. So this is for me, not for her. So this is just an example of internships. We have projects going on. This is a project from my lab where we work with smart glasses to assist with teaching. There we have already also typically, again, applied sciences. We have I got third-party grants of 500,000 euros just for this project, and this was presented there, and obviously also international students. Some look German, but they are not German. So this one is this guy is coming from the US. So this is, but she, at least Yvonne, she's German. So we have also German students. And this is an example how a thesis could look like. This is my lab. This is Felicia from Moldova, my staff members. And she did a bioplastics production. So also similar, you can use that as a starting point then to go to Bayreuth to do your master's there. And another an example of how theses look like in our case, and I don't want to go in details there. And of course, now the big question is, how do lectures look like? If you want to look how a lecture looks like, just go to my YouTube channel. There are a couple of lectures online, not just lectures here on this YouTube channel, but you can easily find them. They're in English, so then you get an impression, at least how my lectures look like. Of course, not all lectures of the colleagues are there, but some of the lectures, I think most of the bioprocess engineering lectures also are there. And then you can get an idea how things look like. Yeah, so it's of course also about science, but I want to skip these two slides, looking on the slide and how to apply. You apply at our university via UniAssist, and please, I'm the professor for bioengineering and a study course leader. I'm not involved in the application process. So if you want to know about the application process, details are all on the website. And again, we have so many international students, so you can believe me that we already have a lot of questions and so on, where the QA is already there. So check that, and I'm sure that you will find the way how to apply. Application is always for winter semester. So the next application will be for winter semester 2025. So this semester application period is already over, but for the next winter semester, you can apply. And I would say that's it for my part. Thanks a lot for your attention. And I'm also looking forward to take your questions.
Thank you very much, Professor, for the presentation. I even linked your YouTube channel. So, and I briefly saw that one video had more than 2,000 reactions or views. I was like, okay. So, guys, you're gonna study very smart things on bachelor's and then transferring to master's, or I don't know if you're directly applying to master's. And the questions today are quite content related, which is very unusual because usually we have very application related questions. So I guess probably you could also assist with this. And the first question I would like to voice from Bahar, which I promised to voice right after Professor's presentation. And this is for Dr. Bargel. Because Bahar wants to apply for the master's programs. And the question is as follows. I will just read out as it is written. I will not modify or shorten it. Ambre from Iran, Bachelor in Science in Cell Molecular Biology, as well as Master in Science in Biophysics. I would like to apply for the 2025 summer program, and then Bahar mentioned it was for Bayreuth. And the question is, could you possibly tell me if my background aligns with the aspects of this program? Many thanks.
Okay, thank you for this question. Well, yes, we have a lot of applicants that study, for example, bioengineering as a bachelor program. So part of that could be covered then in cell and molecular biology, but also biophysics. Since this biofabrication curriculum is an engineering curriculum, there is a need of what is that? Fields, for example, like mathematics for engineers, which has to be covered. Experimental physics could be covered for you. Then composition and properties of polymers, design and CAD, biochemistry for engineers, which should be covered for you, biology for engineers, and chemistry for engineers. And in some, you are eligible to redo bachelor program courses related to this measures of qualification if they are not exceeding 30 ECTS. So yes, it should be applicable for you, but you may also take then some courses, we call that as mandatory or Auflage in German, as measures for qualification to enter in this engineering curriculum.
Thank you very much. Now for the bachelor's program, Professor Dr. Fensterle, how does the program encourage innovation and entrepreneurship for students interested in developing their own bioengineering projects?
Yeah, a very nice question. So it's we have several courses where entrepreneurships are taught. That's one thing. So you will also see in the curriculum that we, in contrast to traditional universities, you will have quite a bit of also business administration because we consider that as important. And I think the one thing is that the professors themselves have been at companies and are entrepreneurs. I have been an entrepreneur, and we're actually also doing a spin-off, in the process of doing a spin-off, myself with one former student from Iran and with a former student from India, but this is more an IT-related project. So we're very kind of behind that, both based on courses we give, for example, seminars where you are, or in projects where your job is start your own biotech company, and also as professors and as university, we help. So there are programs to help entrepreneurship and to support that. So this is strongly supported, I would say.
Thank you very much.
Nino, sorry, you are muted.
Oops, sorry, I'm sorry. So the question was for you, Dr. Bargel. It's about, I'm working at a bioactive bone graft medical company since 6 months. Would it be acceptable instead of 13 weeks of industry internship?
Yes, I guess so, because the internship should be for all the students that do not have any relationship to working conditions in the industry yet. And since you are working since 6 months, it should be applicable. The final decision would be done by the head of the program, Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, upon filing your application.
Thank you very much. Now back to Professor Fensterle. The question is, Hi everyone, and thank you so much for organizing this event. I have a question for Professor Fensterle. Are there any specific textbooks or resources you would say I should review to prepare for a smooth transition from high school to bioengineering curriculum?
So if this would have been a German session, I would say, frankly, yes, because I have written a textbook called Biotechnology for Dummies. And this is, of course, the best thing you could do, because that's about what we do also in the lecture. However, this textbook is German, so therefore this will not help you too much. But nevertheless, you might go to the site biotechbytes.com, where you see a lot of videos and so on, what to expect, also about biotechnology. It's not necessary that you really have a textbook before. You could also check an English textbook, which is 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵𝘯𝘪𝘠, Introduction to Biotechnology, that you have an idea of what biotechnology is about, that you see the complete picture. What is, I think, more relevant is if you feel that you have, for example, problems with maths or maths-related topics, it's certainly a good idea trying to focus a bit on that you get a good foundation also on maths. You will, of course, start from the scratch also at our university. However, it helps if you have a certain proficiency, because you have also seen in the curriculum that there are quite a bit of modules which are maths related, which are physics, process engineering, measurement control engineering, and so on. So there are a lot of engineering topics where you need maths, and this helps if you have something inside. I think everything, chemistry, basic chemistry, some ideas also help, but I think it's not mandatory. And if you have some command of German, or if you want to learn German, then go for Biotechnology for Dummies. My book, there you find everything, also what to expect there in 𝘗𝘢.
Thank you very much. Now the question count is increasing, and before the session, dear attendees, I was saying to our guests that usually when we have two speakers, it's not beyond, like, it doesn't go further than 5, but now I see a few questions. I probably won't be able to ask all of them, but let me just go for a round of questions, like 2 questions to Dr. Bargel and then 2 questions to Dr. Fensterle, and then we could call it a day. But thank you very much for your interest. I believe you are already starting to apply to those programs. So, Dr. Bargel, the question was, let me voice it for you. Hi, are there any specific chemical principles, polymer chemistry, biomaterial science, that are particularly relevant for success in this program?
So the focus of the program is most probably on polymeric systems. So whatever you have heard in your bachelor thesis, in your bachelor program on polymer chemistry would be helpful. And while checking your application form, we try to find similarities between our own bachelor programs and what is taught there in the field of, for example, polymer chemistry. And if it matches with what you have already heard, then you do not need to retake an exam on that. This is how it works usually. Biomaterials, well, what also could help you as an applicant is to visit the MOOC course, which I mentioned. There is the option that you either take a certificate where you have to pay for, but you also can take the course for free, but then it is without a certificate, and this course gives you a broad overview on biomaterials concepts, tissue engineering concepts, and also an introduction into biofabrication. So maybe this also would be an option for you to prepare yourself for the studies.
Thank you. And the second question was, will there be opportunities to collaborate with biologists or engineers in interdisciplinary projects?
Definitely yes. And as I showed you already, the participants, they are from either the engineering department of different disciplines or from the life science department, which covers chemists, biochemists, and biologists. Also, life sciences covering physics. And you're eligible to both go to their lectures or to, for example, choose an advanced module, even a master thesis if it's topic-wise connected to biofabrication. So yes, definitely interdisciplinary projects.
Thank you. Now I will take two questions and then I give two questions to Professor Van Sterle. The first question was that came very first minutes was about the bachelor study program. Could you please explain the Studienkolleg procedure for foreigners? So dear 𝘗𝘳𝘁𝘳, I have linked the Studienkolleg article in the chat, and I also wrote a link from a 𝘸𝘪𝘵, which is a Studienkolleg finder. So it will help you to first of all find out do you need Studienkolleg or not, and then if yes, then in which subject you need one, because for different categories there are different subjects or Studienkolleg courses that you need to take, and it will help you to find this link will help you for sure. Then there was a question how to convert ECTS, so how to convert CGPA to ECTS. I want to let you know that these are absolutely two different things. CGPA is the CGPA calculator. I can share it with you. Credit points are more applicable for the ones that are following Bavaria system. And I can Bologna system, what Bavaria system, sorry, Bologna system, and then I can share with you also ECTS calculator, because I know not all programs have this, but you need to differentiate between GPA and ECTS points. For all programs, there are ECTS points required. For the current master, previous bachelor has to have at least 180. ECTS points for bachelor's program is not relevant because you are applying with your high school diploma degree, however it's called there. There was a question about internship, Professor Van Sterle, but I think you already partially addressed it because you, on the example of a picture, showed how you helped a student to locate internship. But the question was, if I want to do an internship, but I cannot find one, will the program help me? And the second question was, could you please tell me the winter session starts in which months for bachelor?
Okay, so internship, of course, this is in the discretion, first of all, in the discretion of the students to find it. And of course, we help in finding, but usually at the end, this is not a problem. You will find a place. There is a question with language. Maybe I picked that also up because this also refers to internship. So because I talk now about my German book, this is not the textbook you will get as a recommendation in my study courses as a foreign student. You will get, of course, this as a recommendation if you're a German student to read that. However, there are other book recommendations. So, of course, in Bachelor of Science Bioengineering, which is English, there is no need to learn German in order to understand the textbook recommendation. So you will have the textbooks in English, and they're also present in the library and so on. We're well equipped there. With respect to language, of course, you need to have a quite fair proficiency in English, otherwise you will have a problem. So a B2 level in English, I think it's also required. You need to prove that. The German is not required for the study course itself. However, if you, for example, want to do an internship in Germany or in a German company, especially if these are smaller companies, then if you have a fair level in German, this will also help. So recommendation for you, if you plan to go to Rhein-Waal for the winter semester in 2025, which starts, by the way, in October. The lectures will start in October next year. Then it's certainly a mandatory thing to get to your B2 English proficiency, because otherwise you will not get admitted. And it's certainly a wise idea to start at least with some German, because this can help you. You will survive the study without German without any problem. However, this helps you in finding internships and also job opportunities later if you go for a German company. This is, of course, something which makes sense.
Thank you. And the start of the program is October, right?
Yes, start of the program it's kind of like for most German universities, round about 1st of October. So I think this year it's 29th of September. So it's that's, of course, I don't know the exact day, but it's round about 1st of October it starts.
Yeah.
So to add on, for the master program at University of Bayreuth, the lecture time starts 14th of October.
Okay, great. So now I will really briefly do my thank you round. Dear attendees, thank you for those wonderful questions, and thank you for this already interesting study programs. I think you will be then successful since you have so many questions in your applications. Dear guests, thanks very much for your time. I apologize for taking you over time, but I could not miss the opportunity of having content-related questions voiced today. So thank you very much, everybody. Best of luck with your applications. You see how friendly they are, and the emails are also in chat. So feel free to then contact them directly in case the questions were not answered on the pages, because lots of information is posted on the program description pages, and professors and our guests already mentioned this today as well. Okay, everybody, have a nice rest of the day, and I thank you very much once again. Bye.